What is up, y'all? It is your girl, Brand New, and I'm back in the building. And I told you guys I would come back through to talk about Dutchess, her interview with the Breakfast Club that took place yesterday. I don't know if it exactly took place yesterday, but I know that's when I saw it. Okay, just gonna go through a couple of things she was saying. Duchess pretty much brought receipts on how her name was on the lease of the apartment she was staying at with C's. You didn't really need a receipt for that, sweetie, because we already knew that your name was on a lease. You told us. So, and I don't think he's ever said that his name was on the lease, so you didn't really need to prove that. I also found out Dutchess is 30. I'm 32. How is this bitch younger than me? But whatever. Next, she brought in proof that she is the owner of Pretty in Ink, because remember, C's has said that he pretty much gave her Pretty in Ink. I think what he meant when he said that was that he gave her an opportunity to be on the show. And a lot of people will argue with me about that. He still helped you. And I think that's his issue with you, Dutchess. You are ungrateful. Yes, you are very smart and intelligent. You got degrees. But at the same time, he helped you get on TV because Black Ink is his tattoo shop. It wasn't Dutchess's tattoo shop. You were not the first one to come on when your damn song for the show comes on. That's the star, which is C's. You've never gave him any gratitude. Whenever Dutchess talks, she never says, well, I just want to thank C's, for the opportunity to, be on the show and to, film with the crew. She never says that. It's always, well, he ain't the one that said everything. It doesn't matter. Is he still on the show? You're not. He's still on the motherfucking show. So evidently it's his show. It's his tattoo shop that put y'all on, that inspired you, Puma, and whoever else to do what they're doing now. Like, give motherfucking props. That is something about her I do not care for, you guys. She also mentioned that her landlord for the property of Pretty in Ink is some white man. Sees is not the owner, and neither is she. And then, remember that guy she was talking about, you guys? Not she was talking about, but she was accused of messing with. It was a big storyline last season where she had been cheating with this guy. And Dutchess said that this guy was just a fan and he wanted to be messy and put that stuff out there. But she said he never provided receipts that they were together. He has no proof of anything of them messing around. So he's just saying shit just to be on TV, which could be true. Next, Dutchess, this part irritated me a little bit, you guys. Dutchess claims that she wasn't affected by the girl saying her sister was pregnant by C's. Bitch, use a motherfucking lie. Use a lie. Because when that girl had stated that her sister was pregnant by C's, you were shocked. You began crying and you left that man. You left him. So you go sit up and tell the Breakfast Club you wasn't affected and, you didn't even care because it wasn't like it was the girl. It was her sister that was confronting you. So, you lied about that. Okay, so next. She had mentioned that she came from a 2-parent household. She had really tried to state that, well, in order for somebody to try to take half of what you got, they have to be married to you, which is true. But she had tried to make it look like, well, I actually came from a 2-parent household, so I know how that goes. C's, he don't know nothing about that. I mean, his mother, Desiree, she's married now, but it's not to C's father. She completely cut that down. Dutchess, this is why people don't like you. You have something about you where you like to cut people down, tear them down. You always want to appear like you are so much better. And I'm not mad at you for doing this interview because you needed to clear shit up. People were coming at you. I'm not coming at you because of that. I understand what you are doing, but when you relay information, you be trying to be shady. You're very shady and disrespectful. You didn't have to mention a 2-parent household, how C's didn't come from that. See, you still on that bullshit. And I liked the interview, you guys. A lot of people in the comments was saying how Dutchess is so smart and she has all these degrees and she can provide proof. You know what? I was impressed with her a little bit too. I'll be honest. Y'all know I don't really fuck with her. I like C's more, and I still like C's more because I feel like he's more real and more transparent and genuine. There is some things I do like about Dutchess. Yes, she is educated. I don't care about you having degrees. That doesn't make me like a person. It just means that you have that, you have that on your resume that you have degrees. That's good. It does not mean you are a good, real, truthful, transparent type person. It just means you paid for school or you got a scholarship, whatever the fuck happened. That's what that means. She's always bringing that up like that makes her better, and it doesn't. And I understand you want to tell people your credentials, but you know, it really don't matter at this point. It don't matter. I don't see you as more or less than because of your credentials, but you know, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I was impressed with her with the interview. But yeah, Dutchess still has that side to her, you guys, that I don't like, where she thinks she's better and she's being condescending. Let's talk about how she said that a lot of the apartments and shit on Black Ink, that would be Black Ink Chicago as well, is fake. Like she said, Big Fish provides that, which is the production company of VH1, I guess. So I was a little thrown off by that. I'm like, wow, these people don't film in their own house. And Dutchess also mentioned that I kind of like what she said as far as this part. She had mentioned they had asked her, well, why wouldn't you do your own show? I believe she brought in some paperwork on that, how she was being offered her own show. And she said she didn't want to do it because she doesn't know what they would try to create or use against her, or they may try to tear her shit down, and to her that's bad for business. She had mentioned how Sky always got her titties out, and you know how the crew is unprofessional, and she just doesn't think that that would help her business. So I felt like that was she made a good point as far as that. They began talking about Dutchess's song. That song had been out since the summer. I heard it. I don't know why everybody else is. I guess people really not checking for her because they just now hearing it. But anyways, she mentioned how Sky and C's, you know, they dogged her song. And C said that, well, this is a diss song from Dutchess to me. And Dutchess said that the song Mad is nothing about him. You know, had nothing to do with him. But she is dropping another song that is about him. And then they asked her, what is she working on now? She says she's going to open up another Pretty in Ink in Virginia. And she is going to have her own funeral parlor. And, you know, all of that sounds good. So I'm happy for her that she's moving on, you know, conducting business. I'm happy for her. I believe reality TV is very stressful. I do believe her when she says that they will lie for storylines. I think they will lie. They will lie because they need some shit to talk about. So they probably gonna keep talking about her, y'all, throughout the season. Do I give a fuck? No, I'm not really a fan of hers. But I understand where she's coming from when she says that they put the scenes and shit together. Because the shit does look scripted at times. So that's pretty much what I have to say on that. And the last thing I want to address is a lot of people, really quick. I don't know if I got to Sky's mother. Not Sky's mother, Dutchess's mother was posting memes. I believe last year around this time. and it was about her husband's infidelity. Her husband had a child on her, and I didn't know shit about that. Sky had went off on her mother about that and was saying, you should be roasting motherfucking chestnuts. Y'all need to leave my motherfucking brother alone. And Dutchess was saying how he's not Sky's brother, and her own father don't want nothing to do with her. Dutchess, you didn't have to really say her father didn't want to have nothing to do with her. Then you tried to say they had the lady Vivian, Gossip Viv, that's what they call her. They had her, and she was there, and she was basically she's the one that conducted the interview with Sky's son in the shop. And so they was pretty much asking her, well, what was your intent? She said she didn't have any malicious intent, and the young man wanted to get his story out. That's what they wanted to do as far as that, because Sky lied and said that those boys were twins and they wasn't, and she lied about some other stuff. So that's pretty much what they wanted to do with this interview, just make it be clear that there was no malicious intent. They really wanted to help the young man, get his truth out. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say about that. But Sky, yeah, you were wrong for coming at her mother in that aggressive way. I don't give a fuck if they were us talking about C's. I do agree with Dutchess. Sky shouldn't have been coming for her throat when it came to that. I will say that. Okay, I wanted to make one last point, y'all, because I'm looking at my notes trying to make sure I mention every motherfucking thing on my notes. And it looked like I got everything. My last point is this. Do I feel these two people, Caesar and Dutchess, still care about each other? Yes. Here's why. Why are y'all still talking about each other? Dutchess, didn't you just say before you left Breakfast Club, you said, well, C's thinks that my song is about him, but I got another song out. If I am over somebody, I'm not going to be making songs about them. I'm going to address, if I would have did the radio interview, I would have did it, because she had mentioned, well, I'm not trying to put him down, and I'm not trying to do that. You have put him down in the past. I felt like that was some bullshit. And you did put him down when you stated he didn't come from a 2-parent household. So Dutchess, I'm here for you for clearing out your truth. For clearing things up and providing proof. I'm here for that, but you are, you're shady. I feel like you do still care about C's, because you guys wouldn't keep talking about each other. I would stick to the facts, just stick it to the facts, being neutral. But to be all emotional, and I get you went through a lot, it's on TV, everybody is dragging you down. I guess she feels like she has to clear up things when it comes to C's. But my thing is this, you have to move on and not talk about people. She had also mentioned in the interview, well, who comes on the radio and talks about they ex the whole interview? You bitch. That's what you've been doing. You think he the only one doing that? You did. You know what I'm saying? You did the same thing he did, so how you gonna get on him? So Caesar and Dutchess, both of y'all, C's, you my boy and I fuck with you, but I do feel like you still have feelings for this young lady. Dutchess, I think you still have feelings for C's. I don't care what you guys say. I still feel like they care a little bit too much about each other, because this shit with Sky, y'all would just keep it on that. It wouldn't be, and they asked her, did she miss him? That was the one thing I was missing. They asked her, did she miss him? She was like, oh, well, and they was like, yeah, yes, you do, Dutchess. You do. Just admit it. I can do better with people when I feel like they're telling me the truth. These two, they may get back together, you guys. They may shock the shit out of us. And C's is sitting up here telling me, I ain't no way in hell I would get back together with her. I don't want nothing to do with her. But I think you still miss her. Do I think they should get back together? No, I think too much shit has happened. I don't think neither one of them would trust each other. But at the same time, you guys, I know y'all gonna be like, bitch, make up your mind. I don't care either way if they got back together. Because when I see him, he do seem like something is missing. And maybe that's another woman. I think there is another woman out there for him, but I wouldn't be opposed to them getting back together if they could work out all this shit, which I don't think will ever happen, but it is what it is. But these two definitely still love and miss each other. And I'm just going to leave it at that because you wouldn't keep talking about each other this way. You know, the relationship has been over for some time. So both of you all let the shit go. But it was a good interview, you guys. Let me know what you thought about it. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. It is your girl, Brand New, and I am out.